Well, this certainly was an interesting day here at Martin State Airport as I got stuck out here after finding out my train was canceled last second. The reason was it was that train that I was supposed to take home was 4:03 early that morning at approximately 10 o'clock in the AM around Odenton Milepost 115. That same consist has struck a person in an attempted suicide outside of Odenton Milepost 115. She did live, but unfortunately her legs were fully amputated. And after I found out the train was canceled last second, after missing 5:37, I was stranded at Martin State Airport. So here in about a few seconds, you're about to hear me explain what I had to go through to get back home. I did not Uber. I did not take a taxi. I did something that most transit people would do in a situation. So here's the story. So basically what happened was, as you just heard me explain, the same train that was supposed to come get me, which was 6:41, that same consist was train 403 early that morning. Approximately 10 o'clock, there's a young lady at Odenton, milepost 115, who decided she was trying to take her own life. So a train passed before the 403, and she just wanted to get a little bit close to see what it was going to be like. And then she tried to go for it while she was trying to back out. It was unfortunately too late, but she is currently recovering in, I think, Johns Hopkins, from what I understand. I don't remember. But her legs were completely amputated and are unsavable. As a matter of fact, they're still working on the train set on track 16 when it returned to Washington's Union Station for major repairs. That consist did return to Martin State Airport at approximately 7:20 p.m. On the same day. So basically what I had to do, I found out the train was canceled 2 minutes before the scheduled departure time. A young man who worked for MARC came up in his little Jeep and was moving stuff in the back and was explaining that the train was canceled because it was the same train consist that hit the person, and so still in DC for major repairs. He was offering rides, however, but there's a lot of elderly and a couple people with disabilities that need to go south beyond Baltimore. I wasn't no concern. I wasn't in a rush, so I decided to go ahead and see what I can do and see what kind of tools are around me. So I decided to go to McDonald's. I said, well, there's got to be stuff around McDonald's or people I can ask. Because when I asked the MARC guy if he knew any buses or MTA transits that could help me out, he wasn't sure, which is no problem because his main focus is the MARC, not just the whole MTA service, which, again, no problem. So I found the nearest McDonald's, which was 3 miles one way. So I decided to take the treacherous trip, and in the blazing heat, which the heat index today got to 92 degrees Fahrenheit, as the sun was still shining. Now, may I remind you that I'm in Three Rivers, Maryland, which means it's very old. It's not really upscaled at all. So I'm kind of walking through a neighborhood that I don't know, while I have a military base that is right onto my right side. And if I cross any kind of the levee that was right there, I could be in serious trouble. So I had to watch where I was stepping, as well as there's no sidewalk, so I had to walk on this side of the road. Luckily, the emergency lane was wide enough. I had a couple assholes that tried to ram me over, which luckily they didn't. As you can see, I'm clearly fine. And so I finally made it to McDonald's after about 40 minutes of walking and getting lost a couple times. When I got to McDonald's, I was asking employees and people around if I could find an MTA bus, and a few people were kind enough to point me and even show me and direct me the way to a bus stop, which was right in front of a gas station, so I was able to get a couple snacks for the road. And so when the bus arrived, I just got on and asked how to get to Baltimore. The bus driver said, "Come on board and I'll explain everything." And so he was asking me for the fare, which I didn't have any cash on me because I didn't know this machine was not working, which is no problem. He was going to drop me off at a bank, which is going to be that next stop anyways, so I can make a withdrawal and then catch the next bus, which was 20 minutes behind him. But luckily, a while ago, I downloaded the MARC Charm app. Basically, the Charm app is like a smart trip version of DC, except for Baltimore. So how DC has the smart trip benefits for Metro, MARC trains, and VRE, we have the Charm Pass for just the Maryland Transit Authority, including the MARC as well. And so I downloaded the app again, I made my payments, and $4.20 later, I had a whole day pass, so I could travel on any trains I want except for MARC trains, which is no big problem because the only thing I was going to take to Baltimore Penn Station, which was my first plan, was I was going to take the bus to the light rail all the way to Penn Station. Great plan. So the bus driver told me to get off at one stop and wait for another bus to catch into the city, which was no problem. So I said thank you, and I left the bus. So the area I was in second was worse than the first one. I was in the suburbs of Baltimore. So, which was no big deal. I mind my own business. You know, I asked a couple people, you know, how to get here, how to get there, and they kindly pointed the right direction. But as the rush hour is beginning and people getting off work and the night crawlers are starting to appear, it gets a little interesting. So you got all the drug dealers coming out, all the prostitutes, which I believe is legal in Baltimore. If someone could research that for me, that would be wonderful, because I'm not fully 100% sure. And it's like 1:13 in the morning after I just got home not long ago, and I'm not in the mood to research. So, but anyways, yeah, they had HIV posters and all that stuff, and yeah, it was just interesting. So, but you know, I had no issues with people. People didn't have issues with me, so it was all good. The bus came. I told them I wanted to get to downtown. Said all aboard, showed my pass, and I got on. And luckily I was able to find a seat for the duration of the bus ride. As you can tell, I'm very tired. And so I took the bus all the way, hoping I would get there. And so I realized that the bus was going to MARC Camden Yards. I really don't like MARC Camden Yards, nor do I like the Camden line at all. But what to lose, right? It'll be quicker too. So I decided to try to track where I'm at and see what MARC train I could get on. But by the time I was in the city of Baltimore, it was already too late and I missed it. So I went back to my original plan, trying to take the light rail to the Penn line. Well, after we hit some traffic going to Baltimore, I realized that time was just going extremely slow. So I got off at one of the stops, and I decided that there's a metro nearby. So for the first time ever, I took Baltimore's metro. And so I did that, I went a couple stops, and I was really impressed with the system itself. I liked the cars we were in. The station was really clean. I felt very safe. And it's really spacious, you know. I guess they took a couple notes from Washington's Metro Rail on structures and all that kind of good stuff. So I went a few stops, and as soon as I made those few stops and I went upstairs, I forgot that I was walking into downtown Baltimore after rush hour. So the night crawlers were all alive, and it was just chaos, complete chaos, which, you know, that's how it usually is, but none affecting me. It was just the stuff that was going on around me, like a couple fights I saw, drug dealing I saw, even saw a prostitute hanging around Lexington Market, you know, which didn't bother me at all because it's Baltimore. And so we got on the light rail, and I just found out that there's no light rails going to Penn Station for another 40 minutes. So I decided to go to Convention Center and then walk 10 blocks. Like on the same night, I went to my Southwest Airlines interview to find out where the place was in Baltimore, Washington International. So that's what I did. And so I went to Baltimore Penn Station while I was on the phone with my family members. And then I tried to see if I can get the next train. The next one was going to be a Cell Express. I look up prices, $80. I right swiped that and said no. The second one was the Northeast Regional, $129, $30, and I thought it was worth it. But by the time I was trying to buy the tickets, the train was already here, and it had already been too late. So I said no. So I had no choice but to skip that. So the next one was going to be MARC Train 451. No problem. I had to wait about maybe 15 minutes, and then they decided to board early. And so when I got on the train, we were on our way, and I realized we had ACS 64 and all Kawasaki's. So full class Bravo speeds, full 125 miles an hour, and which we did, and which I clocked. When we hit BWI, though, Amtrak 129, the train that I was supposed to take, with the $30 fare, they had a medical emergency on board, so they had to make a special stop, extended stop, excuse me, in BWI Airport, as we were behind them for a while they're trying to get the passenger off the train. As we were trying to figure out, me too, included, trying to figure out how to get passengers on and off the train. So we inched up as close as we could, because we had a restricted proceed signal, which means we could have multiple trains in one block, as long as don't crash into each other as well. And we were loading offloading passengers. So when we got to the when 129 pulled off, we were able to pull forward, and then we gave extra time so we could be way behind 129. And so after that was being done, we were on our way. And so I got to DC around 8:30 that night, went to Johnny Rockets as they're still open for another hour, and just had dinner. I realized something. When I parked my car at Dulles Airport, because I'm an airport employee and I don't want to park at Wiehle, I have to take the bus from the Wiehle Avenue metro station to Dulles. The last bus was at 10:20 p.m. It was already 9 o'clock, and it takes an hour 20 minutes to get from Union Station via Metro Center to Wiehle. So I shoved my food down as fast as I could, and I jumped on the metro as fast as I could as well. And I was tracking my progress, and I thought I wasn't going to make it, so I called a couple of family members, called my mother, and I called a couple of my friends, just to let them know my friends couldn't make it, so my mother was on standby. And so, as soon as I got to Wiehle Avenue, I looked at my watch, it was 10:10 p.m. So I had enough time to use the bathroom and to go across the little metro bridge that they have, to where you go from the station in the middle of the highway to the parking garages and such. So I did that. As soon as I got to the bus loading and unloading area, the bus just pulled up, and it happened to be 10:20 when it did, 10:20 p.m. because that was the last bus of the night. So I got lucky. I got lucky the whole day. So hopefully it's a sign. I don't know. I must have good luck. I'm not too sure. So that's my crazy story that's been going on for 11 and a half minutes. And so I give you now my feature presentation. I suffered to make this video. I've suffered all day, damn it. It is 1:20 in the morning right now, and I am still recording and making the same video after my crazy day. So do me a favor, please subscribe, please like, and leave some comments. I'll comment back and I'll subscribe back. Thank you guys for watching. My throat is really hoarse from just describing the shit I've been through all day, and all that. So without further ado, please enjoy. Thank you much, and thank you for your support. Here's the video.
This time, ladies and gentlemen, conductors will be walking through for collection and inspection of tickets. Please have all tickets out. Please have all tickets out at this time. You must buy a ticket on board. It is cash only. You mean the normal fare plus a $5 surcharge. We do not accept any bills larger than a 20. If you have purchased a ticket or Charm Pass app, please have the ticket pulled up on the display of your mobile device and ready for inspection. The first station stop will be New Carrollton. All doors will open for New Carrollton.
stops at New Carrollton.
Ladies and gentlemen, now arriving New Carrollton. This is New Carrollton, now arriving New Carrollton. New Carrollton, now arriving New Carrollton.
Next station stop is Seabrook.
Seabrook, this is Seabrook. Not all doors open for Seabrook. Exit 3C, a member of the crew. So to watch and step exiting the train. All valve handrails and caution. Seabrook, now arriving. Platform 10 line.
Bus train stops at Seabrook.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously that's a summer break. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so I lived in college.
And not all doors will open for Bowie State.
Yeah, okay.
A member of the crew. Bowie State is like.
Expect some kind of like higher knowledge going through the professional sector, and then wanting to apply that which is not useful. So I think I guess like the first part of my summer with going through teaching those concepts. Sorry, I'm on the train right now, so that's the kind of first one.
Next station stop is Bowie State.
And then the second part of the song, definitely
Marshall Airport Shuttle.
BWI Airport, now arriving BWI Airport. This is BWI Airport. Please watch the step exiting train. This gap to the training station platform. This is BWI Airport. Thank you for riding the MARC Penn line every day.
Next station stop is Baltimore Penn Station.
537, take it south. Give me half a car. South or half? No, give me 20 feet. 20 feet. South 20 feet.
Good so far. Yep. Nathan, man, I think you forgot about me. That's alright, I almost forgot about you there, man. You look safe. Have a good one. We appear to be stuck at BWI, inching forward because the train in front of us has a medical emergency. Amtrak is still at the platform, but we are inching nearby so we can let some people off and on the platform. We have an ACS 6th floor in all Kawasaki's, so we're jumping a little bit. As you can kind of feel, we're in push mode, so